Hey guys, it's Kevin here from Second Life Gaming. I just wanted to put out a video on an updated Ranger build. We do plan on doing other class builds in the future, but right now I'm just gonna be doing the Ranger build. I just want to let you guys know that everything in this build is, in my opinion, the best. So if you guys do find anything better, just please let me know in the comments, and I'll check it out, test it, and see if you're right. So let's get started. So first I'm gonna start with the armor. I'm wearing the King Archer's cap and King Archer's tunic. I'm wearing the King Archer's cap because it has that 8% critical chance and then the 5 critical damage. It also has electric damage resistance, which is just an added bonus. I'm also wearing the King Archer's tunic because it has 105 health and 122 mana. It also has just that electric resistance. And then I'm wearing the Gauntlets of the Unbreakable because it has a 12% damage dodge chance and then a 20 health regen. It also has the 5% dark resistance. Then we're in the Greaves of the Unbreakable. These Greaves are super good because they have that 25% leech and 20% leech chance. If you guys don't know what leech is, it pretty much, so if I deal like 100 damage to Harrold here, I'll get 25% back. So I'll get 25 health back every time I deal 100 damage to him. So that's really good, especially in the late endgame fights when you're going to be taking a lot of damage. So if you can get hearts back anyway, especially with dealing damage, it's really good. And then I'm wearing the Cape of the Ranger Prince because it has the 5% chance and 8% damage for critical. I'm also wearing the Ring of Binding because it has the Leech chance of 20 and Leech 25%. So with the boots, that makes my Leech 50% and my Leech chance 40%, which is really good. So that means pretty much every other hit that I deal, or uh, every other time I deal damage, I get that 50% health back. So like I said, if I do 100 damage to him, that means I'm going to get 50 health back pretty much every other hit. So that's really good to have, especially on those late fights. Um, so you get the King Archer's cap and tunic from the Tomb of Thyrus. I know I'm saying that right or wrong. And then you get the gauntlets and the greaves of the Unbreakable from a stone that's in the sanctuary. When you unlock the sanctuary after defeating the world's end boss, there'll be a stone in the library you can talk to, and you get your armor from him. Um, and then the the Cape of the Prince is a drop from the Light King hard mode. So it's pretty much the hard mode version of the world's end boss. And then the Ring of Binding drops from the world end's last boss. So like the final boss of the normal game. So let's get into the attributes. So my constitution's at 33 because I like to have my health at least at 1,000 for each class. So that means I'll have 11 hearts, which you definitely do need for those last fights because the Light King does a lot of damage. And if you don't have enough hearts, then you're not going to be putting out any DPS. Agility I just left the same because it only does your movement speed. So it's not super important. Dexterity I got up to 120 because just more damage, so it's nice to have. And then I got my wisdom up to 22 because it gives you 900 over 900 mana, which is nice to have just in case you have to hit like your emergency healing ability or if you want to use any of the magic spells. So it's nice to have extra mana. If you don't want to have any mana, then just put the rest in the dexterity, or if you want more health, just do that. So then my talents, you definitely want to have bow spec because it's the best weapons in the game, and all the end game bows, or all the end game weapons are bows. Sentry stance you don't really want because you're not gonna. It does give you a good damage increase, but you're never gonna be standing still for 5 seconds, so it's gonna be pretty much useless. So you want this fading ability because it's just gonna give you an extra 50% dodge when you get to low health. So it's nice to have just in case you're about to die and then like you get hit with something, you have that percentage to that'll miss you. And then dodge chance you want because it's just gonna add a 10% chance to dodge any attack, and this one's always on. So if you're wearing the gloves, they add the 12%, and then you just have this ability that's 22% dodge chance that you always have on. Then you're just gonna want Potion Mastery. It's just gonna increase your potions by 25%, or the cooldown, I mean. And you want Dodger, because after you perform an evade roll, it just increases your dodge chance by 20% for 2 seconds. So it's pretty good if you have to roll out of the way and it still hits you, you still get that chance to dodge it. And then I'm wearing Cheat Death. Cheat Death is a super important talent that you're going to want, because when you're about to get killed, it'll just prevent that and give you your heart back. So then you can just get a quick heal in so you won't die, so you can stay in the fight. Then you're definitely want to exploit weakness, because it just increases your range damage by 15% for 3 seconds after you do a crit. So that's a really good one too to have. So if you guys don't have these armor sets, don't worry, because you can wear this set, the Renowned Marksman Helm and the chest piece. You also get this from the Sanctuary, and this is pretty much just a weaker set of these two pieces right here. They just have less armor, and the stats for the chest piece are a little weaker. And then also this cloak of the Internal Watcher, this drops from the World's End final boss. It's just a weaker version of this cape. It has the same exact stats, but this one just has a lot more armor. And then another good thing to wear too, sometimes if you don't need the crit, I like wearing the wings a lot, because you can jump a little higher, and while you're jumping you can keep shooting like this. You don't have to, because like if I have this cloak on, I can't really jump as high, so you can't really dodge that many attacks. So it's just nice to have if you're just roaming around. But in boss fights, I definitely do equip the cloaks, because you just get that extra damage. These bows, this bow drops from, it's a recipe you can get in the tomb. It's a pretty good bow. It's actually a really good bow because it has that fire damage. So anything earth, so pretty much a lot of the enemies in the game are just earth. So it definitely helps out a lot with that. And then you get the Bolt Bringer. This is a bow drop from the Electric Worm, I believe. Yeah, the Electric Worm hard mode boss, and he'll drop this bow for you. And then this is the Righteous Swarm. This is a bow that's dropped from the Light King, the final hard mode boss. And these are some of the rings you can wear too. This ring drops from the tomb as well. It's just a drop, you don't have to make it or anything. But as you can see, it adds that 12% dex strength and intelligence. And it also gives you that 15% resistance. So it is a good ring to wear if you need the resistance. And this ring does the same thing, but this one just has water resistance, and this one's dropped from the worm boss, the hard mode electric worm boss. And then this one is dropped from the Frost Dragon hard mode boss. This one has a little bit more boosted stats on it, just because the Light King is one of the hardest bosses to fight. And you know, you can wear these too. You can use some of these light damage protection flask if you need them, if you need that extra resistance. And this one's a water damage protection. I'm not sure if there's an electric one. I don't have any, so I haven't fought the boss that many times, so I'm not sure. And then I just used my range damage flask, so that's pretty good to have. And then just have your your mana and health on your bar. And this is a Warcry ability. It's for the warrior, but any class can use the shouts. So I like using it on my archer, because it does boost my damage. So like on Harrold here, I'm gonna shoot him once. See, I do like 272 damage. If I crit, I do about 318. But now I'm gonna use that ability. I'm not gonna use any range damage flask. I'm just gonna use the ability, and let's see how much damage I do. So we're gonna pop it. And I deal a little bit more. I'm dealing about 446 crit now. There's 356, so it is definitely a little boosted. So if I'm gonna use a flask and that ability, and let's see what happens. So I'm gonna pop that, pop that. So I'm getting about 511 now is my highest crit. So that's pretty good. So that's a good little trick you guys can do as well. It'll help out a lot. So that's gonna wrap up this video. I am gonna show us fighting the Light King boss, just to test out the build for you guys, so you guys can see it in action. I just wanted to make this separate video because I didn't want to make the other one too long. So if you guys don't want to have to watch the video, the boss fight, you guys can just stop watching right now. But thanks for watching. I hope this helps. And if you guys have any questions or concerns, just leave them in the comments. Peace out.
But the queen has been overthrown, and I'm not sleeping now. The dark is too hard to beat, and I'm not keeping now the strength I need to push me. to push me.